Tatyana, it's good to see you today. And thank you for your time. It's 8 p.m. in Korea. How is life today in Korea?
Thank you very much, Christian, for inviting me. It is a great pleasure. It's my first podcast ever during my
Oh,
professional career. I did some video interview, but podcast, especially in LinkedIn, never. But yes, I'm very glad, as I said. And it's early evening in Korea, and the weather is beautiful. It's hot, and it's summer. What can I say? Yeah, everything is going well.
life is beautiful. We plan for 1 hour to inform the audience who is joining in on LinkedIn. And for those who don't have a lot of time and only have 5 minutes to listen to this episode,
Mhm.
what are the three messages that you would like them to take away if
Mhm.
they come back later and listen to the full episode?
Mhm. I think it is important to speak more about the regional biotech hubs, which are developing quite rapidly these days. I would like to, in my case, make a highlights on Korea and its development. And the second one is women in leadership, obviously. And the third one, the technology advancement, which allow us to be better version of ourselves.
That are great topics, and we have 1 hour to explore them. What I
Mhm.
liked in your material, absolutely liked, is that you incorporated the title of the podcast, Beginner's Mind, in your preparation material. And my question to you is, what is beginner's mind for you?
Mhm. Thank you for the great question. Beginner's mind is, for me personally, is never forget what are you working for or who are you working for, whether it's science you're trying to um, push forward or development of the humanity or the people like a patient we're trying to treat with our medicines. So that's the beginner's mind for me, and the idea behind it is very personal, and probably I will be able to explain more while we talk.
Absolutely. We have a section at
Mhm.
the end of the podcast where we come back today to that.
Mhm.
Let's jump right into Korea and biotech. What is the
Mhm.
situation of biotech in Korea?
Well, I think I need to give you some history about Korean biotech and pharma. Just 30 years ago, Korea was, hello? I'm sorry, that was some, yeah, technical issues. Yeah, just 30 years ago, Korea was a pharmaceutical industry oriented make generic making industry. So as many of other countries around the globe, they were making just great copies of already existed original drugs, especially from Japan and from United States. So that was 30 years ago. Heavily, or the industry was heavily oriented on marketing and sales. So basically, lack of innovation, lack of investment in basic science, and definitely lack of the specialists to push forward the innovation. So that was just 30 years ago, one generation of specialists ago. But what I am surprised to see these days, it's a tremendous quantum leap Korea made into new era of the medicine, of the innovative medicine and the development and collaboration. So basically, here what we have deals with the international company. We have MNC deals, and I'm not talking about just some sort of collaboration or school science project. I'm talking about recent deal of LBL Bio with GSK, estimated of 2 billion US dollars targeting neurodegenerative disorders, very competitive, breaking through field to discover the medicines. So this is Korea now, and it's been just such a short period in terms of history of pharma or just human history. This is just nothing. And I think there is a secret ingredient probably we have or we don't. Maybe it's just the people we are talking about. But I think it would be interesting for our listeners, for your listeners, Christian, to hear more about our country and what we do here, and probably, yes, yeah, to learn something from each other.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for
Mhm,
that great opening and your remark that the pharma industry as a
mhm,
whole, compared to the human history,
mhm,
is relatively new. I think it's 150 years old. And
mhm,
biotech particularly it started in
mhm,
the 70s with Genentech, so it's also even younger.
mhm,
And what I was
mhm,
impressed at Bio in the United States in Boston in June was that the
mhm,
Korean pavilion was really huge.
mhm,
Why was it so huge? Why was it so impressive?
mhm. Yes, yeah, thank you for paying attention to that and emphasizing on the size of Korean pavilion. Yes, we actually were the largest pavilion among the
The
national
largest.
pavilions. Yeah, and it's already second year in a row, which is surprising, definitely for me. I also found out this year that we are doing such a great job. And I think there are two major factors. First of all, it's the willing of company. Company is very active. They're willing to participate. They want to partner with the American and European companies and other international partners. Obviously, they have the technology and they have the science to discuss, to present to the counterparties. This is from the one hand, but from the other hand, the support of the government. Actually, I have to say special thank you to the organizers of Korean Pavilion. It's a Korea Bio Association and Korean Trade Organization. They did such a great job. I felt I never could feel more comfortable to go into the conference internationally and feel like home. Literally, they made us feel like
Yeah,
home.
really.
Our Cha Vaccine Pavilion was in the front of the, so we had so many visitors coming. But important thing, it never felt alien, or we never felt strange, or we never felt different from every other exhibitors at the floor. Rather than we felt like, oh, it's almost like in Korea. And thanks to the all this, yeah, the thanks to the organizational committee of Bio and Bio Korea, yeah, making that possible.
That's impressive.
Mhm.
Maybe next year they will call it Bio Korea and not Bio International anymore.
I hope
But
not, because I still prefer diversity. But yeah, yeah, I understand why would you make that kind
it
of
it was a
joke.
really
Yeah.
bad joke. No, it's Bio
Hmm.
International has really evolved tremendously. I think it were 20,000
Hmm.
people this year at the Bio from
Hmm.
all over
Hmm.
the world. And
Hmm.
when we look at the ecosystem, so Korea
Hmm.
is joining the ecosystems globally. How would you describe the strengths of Korea in the global pharma
Hmm.
industry? What stands out in your country?
Hmm. Yes, that is very good question to consider. What stands behind all this progress and these remarkable results? First of all, Korea is such a small country. We don't really have much natural resources. The only resources are human resources we're in possession of, and there are as a humans they have three core values. First of all, it's family. Second is health, and the third one is education. This is what country runs on, the values. And given that the health and education play such an important role, it is critical for our people to be able to innovate, to be able to develop in that very important field for us. So I think human power is one of the biggest driver, uh, which promoting the technology and the science, and everyone's very diligent, trying, to support as much as possible, very open-minded to the foreign, let's say, foreign collaboration, very open-minded for idea itself of the collaboration in order to get the innovation from others. They do not actually reject new ideas here. They rather to explore on it. And they would like to learn from other countries' experience and other companies how to do better. Actually, strive to be better and learn. Keep your mind open. Keep it flexible. This is what drives the innovation here, in my opinion.
And it's very interesting. The first time I was in
Mhm.
Korea was, I think, 2015, 16-ish, around that.
Mhm.
And I also thought what you said, I mean, it's a small country and no natural resources, so I didn't have really high expectations. Because usually in
Mhm,
Europe, when you have a small country with no natural
mhm,
resources, just say, yeah, we don't have anything, so we are poor and that's it.
mhm,
But
mhm,
when I woke up in Seoul, it felt like a trip into the future. And
mhm,
its Korea back then already was so far advanced compared to Europe, which was really impressive. And my question to you is, what drives the Korean population? Why
mhm,
did they create such a tremendous
mhm,
economic success basically out of nothing?
mhm, mhm.
What was the core driver in your opinion?
Yes, I also been thinking about that many times, and I actually asked my colleagues about their opinion. And there was one interested idea they shared. It was that Korea is closed by from the surrounded by the sea from the south, east, and west. And from north, it's basically blocked by North Korea, so we isolated that way. So we are kind of stuck with each other as a nation,
Mhm.
and there is no way, yeah, we escape this situation, but we have to make it better for everyone else. So in order to make it better, you have to try harder. You have to push forward. You have to think deeper because there is no plan B at this point. So that's why absence of plan B drive people to always improve, do better and more with as little as they have. And at the end of the day, they actually able to perform successfully. And the success what inspire them for the next step. Plus, there is belief if someone can do it, I can do it as well, or I can do it better. So this is the basic Korean principles. And so basically, there is no limits. The sky is the limit here, literally.
I think this is a perfect
Mhm,
explanation for every company. Motivate your team to do better. There is no plan B, and the only way out is forward. Either you succeed or
mhm,
not, but keep pushing forward.
mhm.
When we start
Correct.
looking at your company, I hope I spell it right, how do you spell your company name? CHA Bio Group.
Cha Bio Group.
Cha is
Cha.
cha like tea, is
Yeah,
Japanese.
Cha. Yeah, that's no, it's a founder's name.
Oh, okay, okay.
Dr. Cha. Yeah,
Dr. Cha,
he
sorry.
was, yeah, Dr. Cha. He's our founder, and he actually Cha Bio Group started as a fertility clinics.
Mhm.
They were offering help for female and their families who had infertility problems back in 1980s. But since then, they happen to be largest cord blood bank in Asia and also unite under the same roof, academia and industry. At Cha Vaccine, we are developing vaccine for the
Mhm.
adult population, and we belong to industrial part. But I think that kind of unique combination make us our group different from other biotech company or pharmaceutical company, and I believe that will be the key ingredient for the future success.
Absolutely. My apologies again for not being able to spell your company name and Dr. Cha's name
No
correctly.
worries. Actually, yeah, uh, we get that a lot.
When we look at the Korean strengths and
Mhm,
your company, what makes your company different in the global biotech system? How can you leverage
mhm,
your country's strengths in your
mhm,
corporate strategy?
mhm. Yes, as a being part of Korea, we actually have several global we present globally. As a medical group, we have our hospitals in United States, in Asia, and in Australia. So that kind of global network help us to collaborate internationally. Plus, being a vaccine institute, we have a chance to communicate with the other institute, a non-government organization or other institutional organization that allow us to have a broader view than just a commercial collaboration. And given that we have three different approaches hospital, non government, institutional, and the commercial that give us a bigger spectrum of the partnership and the deeper way to understand the market needs. So that is one thing is to be a great thing to be a part of a large group, but from the other hand, being a Korean biotech company, we still have a chance to get support from the government, which is great in our country, as you already understood probably, was that we have a chance to participate in Korean pavilion during bio event. We have multiple government support program for the research. So this is all stimulate our science and definitely inspire us for future development.
That's great.
Mhm,
Absolutely. To help the
mhm,
audience understand your company a little bit better, uh, when they are
mhm,
interested in collaborating with you,
mhm,
in which part of the industry is your company mostly operating? Are you
mhm,
more market-oriented, bringing vaccines to
mhm,
the market? Are
mhm,
you more in clinical development, preclinical development, or more in basic research?
mhm. Yeah, I believe that definitely basic research and clinical development will be our strengths. As for the marketing part, we still need a partner. That's why we're actively trying to discuss different partnership model around the globe because our vaccine company, we are adult vaccine oriented company. It's been a strategic move for us to choose a strategic path because with more aging population around the globe, and definitely improvement in healthcare system, adult vaccine become more trendy than ever before. So our strategic approach to help the adult being as healthy as possible during the lifespan. And given that we're about to live 100 years, as I heard, the centurion, yeah, there is a name for that these days. So in order to support healthy life, balanced life, and high quality, our basic development, research development, yeah, exists for that purpose.
That's great. That's great.
Mhm,
Um, let's move a little bit more towards the biotech system, the ecosystem in Korea. You mentioned at the beginning the ABL Bio GSK deal, which is a landmark for
mhm,
the biotech
mhm,
ecosystem. It was really huge, wasn't it? It was, I think, $2 billion dollar deal or
2
something.
billion deal, yeah, more than 2 billion, given the milestones and royalty
Wow.
success milestones. Yes, actually, that was such a great deal. I was so excited for them for months. That's actually, yeah, unusual. Yeah, I was so proud of them. They did such a great job. But it's not just about Korean company doing great. I think there is much more deeper meaning into that deal. Number one, yes, as a small biotech company from not, let's say, Europe, United States, you still can make a deal. And given that it's very early stage development, they are still in preclinical
In
study.
preclinical.
Yes, yes, still preclinical. Yes, they didn't enter the clinic and still GSK made it.
Wow.
It kind of, yeah, I also was very proud of GSK because in biotech, there is a common belief that the big pharma only will go for de-risk deal. So they're commercially oriented. Yeah, they would like share no risk and just get to the market indirectly. That's why most of the company think, okay, maybe we can discuss after phase one data or phase two data, and let's hope for the best. But that deal showed that the global pharma MNCs still can be bold and they can take a risk and they have a beginner's mind in them, which is surprising. Yeah, it is very not usual deal. And that opened a door and inspiration for a company just like ABL Bio, not just Korean company, but any other from around the globe to keep pushing forward to challenge big pharma. And this is a good sign, from the other hand, to big pharma that they have something to learn too from that deal, from the LBI BioGSK deal.
That's
And I
impressive.
hope they will achieve everything, yes, they target. Yeah. Mhm,
That's impressive. I was not aware that it was a preclinical deal. $2
mhm,
billion, dollars, big pharma company, global player, partnered
mhm,
with a Korean biotech company very
mhm,
early.
mhm.
How did you have a chance to talk with the BD team? at
Mm,
ABL. Uh, I mean, I know many companies in Europe and the United States who say, okay, I'm preclinical. And as you mentioned, big pharma
mhm,
only buys with data and de-risk in clinical phase two
mhm,
or even better. So we need
mhm,
to raise from VCs and can't make early deals.
mhm,
ABL did it. Did you have a chance to talk with them what their success criteria was? Why why
mhm,
why could they partner so early where others failed?
mhm, mhm. Yes, definitely. I took my chance to talk. I came over in real via booth and I asked them. Actually, first of all, I congratulating them on such a great success. And then I asked about the all the background behind this deal, and they told me that the GSK was so impressed by their science and their technology in even in very early stage,
Mhm.
and most of their they have a platform, the whole platform, and that platform perfectly fits GSK current pipeline. And given that they target an SNS, CNS, it's very important for them to find a way to bring their pipeline to the new level. And yeah, there was a lot of confidential information they would not disclose, but this is the whole, yes, the whole story. They said we were just a great fit. They fitting strategically and for the greater, longer years to come. And actually, I think after hearing ALBL Bio's explanation that 2 billion, it was kind of not expensive deal. I'm sure the GSK would be, yes, very successful. Yeah,
Mhm.
utilizing this platform for their pipeline development. And maybe they will be a number one company in just a several years, surpassing everyone else. Let's hope for the for them. And then, yeah, then
That's
let's
that,
see. Mhm,
that's a funny twist. Yes, for a big company, 2 billion is not much, but for biotech, it
mhm,
means the world. And it's very interesting.
mhm,
So the two key learnings were have good
mhm,
science and technology. You must
mhm,
stand out
mhm,
and be a good
mhm,
strategic fit. But beyond
mhm,
that, you are working in business development. From the conversation with the founders of ABL
mhm,
and the team of ABL, what did
mhm,
you learn for your
mhm,
BD approach? How can
mhm,
how can we better connect with big pharma? Many believe they have a great technology, but fail in
mhm,
connecting, fail in finding the right people to talk in
mhm.
big pharma.
Yes.
Was there a big
Mhm.
learning for you?
Actually, it's not hard to talk to big pharma. They are very open-minded. For
Mm,
example, we had so many meetings with, yes, with the representatives of big pharma during this Bio US event. But one thing I say, it is not I guess, not the way you talk to them, but this is how you talk to them. You have to be very confident in your science. You have to be very clear. The explanation, you shall not overcomplicate your explanation with the unnecessary details. Plus, you have to show the integrity behind the development. And I guess for the rest, they have a due diligence team to find out. But to open the door, yes, you have to have a personal charisma, strong belief in your science, and willing never to quit until you succeed. Yes. Mhm.
absolutely. And what's
That
your
was my answer. Yeah.
recommendation for biotechs? Should they
Mm,
proactively go out on the market and talk with
mhm.
big pharma or just wait until they come to them?
Definitely. Talk about every small thing you have achieved. Bring it out. If you doesn't matter how great your science is, if it's on paper or in your computer and no one knows about it, there is no use. Actually, we got so many advice from the representatives of big pharma. They said, even in terms of presentation, they said, "Oh, if you would do that, there would be so much better explanation." Yeah, without just too many words. And we gave that very friendly advice. It's more like my uncle would recommend something to me, or read this book or try to explore in that field. That was very like family like settings. But what they really mean, I think they wish us to be successful,
Mhm.
to have a great job in development and breakthrough in science. And even though it might sound naive that and it definitely not a call to go and call biotech every day, the MNC company, global multinational company, every day on the very small advice like, okay, I made this graph, would you take would you take a look at it? But I'm talking about more like the quality progress you have made, and that before you move to next step, maybe it's better to show it to somebody else. Would you take it, or what else do I have to make it to the deal? But then again, it's just an advisory function. Do not heavily rely on then opinion, by the way, because you have to have your core science and your core belief, your opinion, plus, the confidentiality issues. Yeah, you cannot disclose. As a legal specialist, I do not recommend to show too much, but just, to get them interested for further discussion. So this is very key points when you have to think about as a young biotech going around. But definitely, yes, definitely communication is the only way, and continuous update to keep everyone's in loop. Don't get lost for a year and then show up next year event and say, okay, here I am. This is how much I made. And then just to find out that maybe that was not the thing everyone else were looking for. Because, I've been in touch with so many scientists, and scientists, and I do not mean to offend anyone, but science tend to get in close in their science. They will not share it. They will not open up. They will just do the only thing they would like to do without any market correction or the customer needs in mind. Well, when once they do it, and once they complete certain stage, they think it's perfect and everyone shall like it and clap it and definitely invest. But that doesn't happen. Then the scientist got disappointed and more like going into his own world, not exposing themselves. And given that we have such a great ways to promote ourselves these days. It's not just face-to-face meeting. It also can be various platform, social media, and well, definitely participate in conference or publish certain materials. But then always keep it like the quality shall be up to the certain standard in order to keep the credibility.
Thank you. It's an excellent explanation.
Mhm.
And I think this is so important to tell
Mhm.
biotech founders so often,
Mhm.
because as you said, they usually tend to be in their lab,
Mhm.
move their science forward, don't talk to
Yeah.
anybody outside. And
Mhm.
when they need a deal, then they think it happens in no time. But usually, as
Mhm.
you said, talk to the industry. It takes time until
Mhm.
they understand what you're doing. It takes time to assess
Mhm.
the strategic fit. And if you want a
Mhm.
deal, you need to be out on the market.
Mhm. And if you must get some help from professional advisors,
Yeah.
that that is critical part, because you cannot just be in love with your technology, and you do need to have a reality update. And yes, that will only help. And if you do not have any budget to hire an advisor, you still can find the one who would do it. Yes, for future success fee. You have to be flexible. Just don't pay a big check to just big names, big firms, big advisory firms, and hope for the future, for the miracles to happen. Just yes, do your basic due diligence. Check different sources. Try to talk to independent advisors. Try to talk to industry insiders. So that would cost you less, and but you would be more successful doing that. And plus, networking never hurts.
Yeah,
The
absolutely.
more people know about your science, the better. Yeah. Mhm.
I completely agree, and I also agree to this part, advisors or employees, just a matter of
Mhm.
what contract
Mhm.
is better, but they need to
Mhm.
budget something into their budget for getting really
Mhm.
professional advice. Otherwise, they just
Mhm.
end up with
Yeah.
some people
Mhm.
doing favors, and that doesn't lead anywhere.
Mhm. Yeah. The initial stage, yes. When you hatching, when there's just the angel fund investment stage, yes. But the more capital you attract, the serious you have to get with that. Yes, who I listen to, because that might impact the future of your company. Yeah, I
You
agree
know,
on that.
like
Great
your
remark. Mhm.
like your company, Char Group, you have a business development department. You have people who are out
Mhm.
on the market. You travel to
Mhm.
Boston to
Mhm.
talk with the industry.
Mhm. Exactly. Yeah. It was so helpful to see everyone else. And other Korean companies, they come and they ask us for advice. Yes, in partnering, yes. And I will definitely give them some good advice. Yeah. So as someone did to me in the past. So I believe in this kind of circle of life. Let's circle all of deal. Let's put it that way. So yeah, but yeah, once you're serious about your technology, you have to have a, team of professional, high, high level professionals.
I was impressed when you brought up the APL Bio GSK deal because you're
Mm-hmm,
not working for APL. My question to you
mm-hmm,
is, why is that deal so important for the Korean biotech ecosystem?
mm-hmm,
How does
mm-hmm,
it impact your company?
mm-hmm. Actually, this deal opened the door in minds, first of all, and in hearts before it opened the door in business. So now we able to see that the actual very high stake deal can be made by Korean biotech company. And if ABL Bio made it, why I cannot make it? Definitely. And what they did, just learn from the best at this point in the biotech industry, benchmark their success, and just make it happen, make it happen, and believe in yourself, in your science, and that definitely you will see the progress. Yes. So as an important milestones in Korean history, just to remind, from 30 years ago, generic making company, and then 10 years ago, first biotech company go international with fewer deal than these days. And now we have a blockbuster deal made by uh, ABL. Yeah, so this is a third large milestone. And what's next? I'm so excited to see. Mm, Korean company become a global leader. Yes, definitely. That will be the next step.
Absolutely. There's also a lot of interest from European companies for years
Mhm,
now
mhm,
to collaborate with Korean
mhm,
companies, which opens
mhm,
the door to the next question, cultural
mhm,
differences. How do you see the challenges in cross-cultural collaborations? GSK is definitely not a Korean company,
mhm,
and
mhm,
Korea has a special and unique and excellent culture. And now you need to
mhm,
collaborate with European companies, with Asian
mhm,
companies, with founders and funders in Saudi Arabia, for
mhm,
example, or in the
mhm,
United
mhm,
States. What challenges do you see for the companies?
mhm. Yes, definitely. Cultural question is very important. Yes, because we have so many unique cultures around the world, and sometimes it can be challenging to understand each other. Not just we only speak different languages, but the whole business operation quite different. So, given that here in Korea we represent a nation culture, and most of our counterparties come from the Western cultures, from United States and Europe, it is a certain gap in understanding. But I think that talking about it, it's very important, even though sometimes you can be surprised by what you can hear. But one thing is for sure, you have to be very patient with Asian companies whenever you come across the Asia, because I think it's a philosophy, and it traditionally happened that way, that Asian people trust not just what they see with their eyes and they hear with their ears, but also what times show. Time test. It is inevitable. Always, if the company is suspicious, you will find out in a certain period of time, sooner or later. But This is the first thing. And the second thing, relation. Establishing the relation is really important for Asian companies. Yes, doing business great, making profit even better. But to keep the relation and to be able to trust each other, it's more important than a quick pro quo, just to achieve a quick results, and just no doesn't really care about the consequences of such a quick deal. So that's why so many Korean companies considering very careful, because before engaging, for them it's like a marriage, almost like you have to court, you have to see your partner in different settings. The time will show. You have to see their surroundings, what they're up to. And I'm not talking about every company, of course. We have like so many companies in biotech, but I'm talking about majority of companies, and the large company definitely would operate based on that philosophy. So while in Western world, especially in United States, actually Europe is quite different based on my experience. But in United States, yes, they was like, show me the money, let's make it quickly, yeah, right away, and around it, and just make that happen. It and I understand that it works for them probably very well. But as a small and as a large country, yeah, they can deal with all kind of consequences. There is always plan B and the reserve. But as I mentioned at the very beginning of our conversation, as a Korea, we don't really have much plan Bs or Cs. Yeah, we have to consider every chance as a last chance or the lifetime opportunity. And then you have to consider very seriously before moving forward with that. Because, yes, historically happened that Korea wasn't that spoiled with many fortunes.
I absolutely understand that when you
Mhm,
don't have a plan B and the plan A must
mhm,
work, you are more careful. I'm curious, you mentioned that Europe is different. And since I'm in
mhm.
Europe, I'm now curious to hear your perception of Europe. How is Europe different in
Uh,
your opinion?
Well, yeah, I guess that triggered your interest, the comment.
Curiosity,
Europe,
sorry.
what I'm saying, yes, definitely. Europe is different from United States, and Europe is different from Asia. And the reason is that Europe exists for such a long time as a developed nations. Now you are United Nations, which is the next step. For example, United States, yes, they are on the other hemisphere. So there's just a group of states represented by basically one country. And in Asia, we're still undergoing integration process. Asia is not integrated. So there's China, there's a Japan and Korea and some Southeast Asian countries, and everyone for themselves, actually. But Europe showed different example by uniting different countries under the same system. Yes, there is a sort of, you know, um, flashbacks. Nothing goes as smoothly as planned on paper, but the whole idea of United Nations is such a breakthrough for the human race, and the regulation you have, United regulation, it's also very inspiring. There's so many leaders in Asia discussing EU example in pharma
Mhm.
regulation and in GMP compliance, in clinical trials, yes, possibilities once we unite as like pan-Asian countries. And I hope Korea would be either the hub or have a central role in that unification. But when you come to discuss as a partner, also Europe can be tough cooking. It's not as, yes, in America, it's very simple. Okay, you make money, you make partner.
Mhm.
In Asia, you have relation, you have partner. But Europe, it's sometimes it's never the money, and sometimes it's not even a relation base. So there is a third option exists, and something, yeah, I'm still learning, but maybe uh, it is both and commercial profit and relation. But I believe it's also a good connection with existing market players,
Mhm.
so-called network you possess. That's why I always try whenever I discuss with European company, try to refer to the people I know in Europe, so I would be considered more seriously for example, it's different from United States and it's different, yeah, from Asia. Mhm.
No, thank you. I
For
love the
sure.
explanation, and it's
Mhm.
good to hear that European regulations sometimes can
Mhm.
be a role model for other regions,
Mhm.
and that's fun.
Mhm.
Before we move to women in biotech and leadership, I have one
Mhm.
final question on the
Mhm.
cultural part, and my question is,
Mhm.
when
Mhm.
European companies want to
Mhm.
partner with Korean companies, what's the
Mhm.
best way to build trust with Korean companies so that at the
Mhm.
end of the day you can really move things forward?
Mhm. Yes, and actually, speaking of Europe, I'm not sure. Have you ever heard? But they make a parallels in between countries. For example, they think that Germany is European Japan,
Mhm.
and that sometimes, no offense to French people, sometimes that China is very similar with France in terms
Really?
of the way they do it. Yeah, and Korea is very similar to Italy, for
Mhm.
example. And I was actually surprised. So I asked my friend from Italy, do you really think that way? And this actually he agreed. He said, yeah, there's so much similarities in Korean, in Italian culture. So I think in order to understand Korean cultural code and gain the trust here, it is number one, you have to understand who you are. Know that yourself. Find about yourself. If you're from Italy, yes, definitely, probably you will have a quick land quickly here in Korea. But if you're from France, maybe you have to consider that. For example, there might people perceive you like make some parallels with some other countries. So first of all, find out about yourself and then very identify your target very clearly, but and then be prepared. That Korean company probably will not give you a straightforward answer because in Korea, people, it's kind of an etiquette when you talk not directly, not direct conversation. It's more like a more respectful conversation. They will not say no, they will not say yes. They will think, I'll think about it. And that's a great thing because they actually think about it. It's not like other countries, like, for example, in Japan, and sorry if Japanese colleagues are here, but sometimes I found out that in Japan, when they say, I think about it, they never do, not 100% of the time, some actually do. But this is again back to the cultural code. What I'm trying to say here, Korean companies, they would pay a time, and they will make an effort to understand your technology and the partnership model you are talking about, and truly discover the potential and possibility of collaboration. So here we go with the idea that, yeah, definitely, do not be offended by not having a straight answer or positive answer right away in the meeting room, because almost no deal made in the meeting room in Korea. Because they have such a complex hierarchy system, especially within the corporation, and several layers of internal approval. So you have to be patient and you have to give them a time to brew. It's actually like baking, more like baking. You throw all the ingredients and then you wait until it rises and then you put it in the oven and then wait, and then you put it aside, wait until it cooled down, and then you have a finished product. So that's more like the way we do it in Korea.
I love the analogy with Italy.
Mhm,
Now, in future, when someone asks me how can we do business with Korean companies, I will
mhm.
say, look at Italy and just treat them like Italians.
Well, they do.
That's
Yeah, look at the
that's good.
Italians. Learn about their, yeah, because the Italy is much closer. It's within the Euro. So you actually can, yeah, first learn from them and then
Mm.
move your, yeah, experience to other country. Actually, yeah, duplicate. Mhm,
And the second part you mentioned, patience is very
mhm,
helpful with Korean companies
mhm,
because good decisions take time. When we talk about patience and women in biotech and leadership,
mhm,
how is life for
mhm,
female leaders these days in biotech?
mhm, mhm. Actually, yes, thank you very much for asking. It's not easy. What can I say? Because originally the whole industrial world was dominated by males. And well, you know, that is what it is. We cannot change that. And I'm sure there is a great reason behind it. But these days, more and more women entering the leadership, entering the biotech as a specialist and other fields of a professional. skills. And as a woman, you don't get discount. Actually, you have to push much further and much harder. Number one, you have to prove that you are capable, and the second one, that you have to be yes, you have to be very competitive. And the third one, you always you will be judged. You will be judged by men, you will be judged by other women, you will be judged by society, by pursuing very ambitious choices and careers during your professional lifetime. So I think it is harder, almost three times, than for a man to enter the traditionally male dominated field, and where everyone is, not everyone, but so many people are supportive to your idea and your successes. But well, given that we are trying so hard, we actually able to achieve much better results. For example, I was born in Russia and I moved to Korea being an adult. I graduated from the university, and the first company I joined was pharmaceutical company. They own pharmaceutical. Basically, I was a foreigner there, foreigner, female, and young. So all the odds against me at that time. And so, what I had to do, I had to prove that I'm not worse than my Korean colleagues, that I also can speak in Korean and report in Korean, even though it was my third language. After Russian, after English, Korean was third. And it wasn't easy. So, I had to spend three times more. Uh, to prepare time to prepare to just a simple report. And then being a female, I would not be, as Korea as a nation country, very conservative, I will not be invited to certain meeting, or excluded from the negotiation at very end stage, just because of my gender. And this is something I can speak openly these 10 years, let's say 15 years after. And the third one, my young age. My supervisor would tell me, Tatyana, you are so young, you still have time. Don't worry. Let make your senior make this deal. And actually, several deals was taken from me uh, in order to promote my senior colleagues. That was unfair. I felt unfair, but they told me to take one for the team, be a player, and just, to support an advancement of my senior colleagues, so I can benefit later. So basically, tell me to be quiet and just wait for my turn. And what can I say? Yes, I had to deal with and face all these challenges back there, but this is how that kind of made me stronger and faster learner and quicker in decision making, because I had so many odds against me. I had no plan B back there. Just like Korea had no plan B. I have to shoot once and I have to hit the goal, hit the target from try one. So definitely, yeah, I didn't consider that I'll have another chance. So whenever I had to present in front of the management, I will make a bullet point, and I'll try to yes I'll try to win my prize for them. Mhm.
Yeah, this must have been hard for you. Totally understand that. And and when it must really be a hard time. My question to you is, when I think about this situation, you have been a foreigner in Korea, a woman in a male-dominated industry, and young on top of that. What kept you going? What motivated you to move forward with your career and not just give up and say, okay, it's too hard. What motivated you to move forward? Your microphone is turned off.
Thank you for that. Yes, thank you for the great question. Actually, that was not easy for me decision to make, because there was so much easier choices: to get married, be stay home, mom, and just take care of my households, which I did at the same time. By the way, I didn't, yeah, I didn't give up on that either. I didn't give up on that either. But I was just so curious what the future can be if I try hard, if I don't give up, and maybe one day the world will open for me, that things will turn around, and I will be able to benefit my talent I believed I had, and to help another generation of women or men, because I have a son. He's a man, right? Definitely. And I want him to be successful. I don't want him face any bias I did. Or if I have a daughter, I don't want to see her to facing that challenges, or any other person, let's say any other human being. So I believe in equality. I think everyone deserves just same chances and have to be presented with such. And yeah, I just didn't want to see my career go vanish just like that because of some certain social, let's say, norm back there. And I was right. 10 years later, it's an absolutely different world. Actually, Korea moves so fast and develops so fast. Now we see female CEOs no one could imagine 15 years ago. And we see more women in a board of directors, and especially the top one investment world. There's much more females there, and I used to be always only female, only women in a room full of men. Like we're talking up to 20 investors at the investors meeting, and I'm there by myself. But I actually felt no discomfort. I felt very comfortable. So I was just talking to as one professional to another, and that also motivated me. So staying professional, keep improving your professional level, that will bring you confidence. Competence is confidence, and the
Mhm.
confidence is competence. It kind of work both way. As long as you pay attention to your competence, you will get the confidence. And the more confidence you get, the more competent you become. And it doesn't matter if it's a man or woman, if it's the elder person or younger person in the room. That can be both.
I
Can be
totally
all of
agree.
them together. Mhm.
Totally agree. Confidence is important and
Mhm.
patience. As you said, 10
Mhm.
years and the world is completely
Mhm.
different. I
Completely different. Mhm.
I know from the young generation here in Austria and in Europe between 20 and 30 that many find Korea very compelling and want to move there.
Mhm.
What
Mhm.
advice would you give a young female professional from Europe who says,
Mhm.
I want to start my career in Korea? What
Mhm.
advice would you give to her?
Oh, such a great question. I have. Yeah, I have shivers. Yeah, that's such an amazing question. So, first of all, I would say get a help. Join some sort of community which support women in Korea, in yes, yeah, for foreign women who wants to study or get a job here. And actually, one of my very close friends, she's from Spain, Laura. Hello, Laura, if you hear that, she has that great initiative to help the foreign women, the foreign professional women to be successful in Korea. They will have sort of seminar. They will coach each other. They will share the experience, and then they will invite someone like me to have a presentation there and to inspire other young leaders, female leaders or male leaders, if they choose to go there too. So get into that community. Try to find out if you need Laura's contact information. I will be happy to share it on my homepage or so. And we have to endorse each other. As a women, we don't have to compete to each other. This is actually a failure, way to fail. But the way to succeed is to endorse and to support each other, women for women. Because one great thing I found about men and the manhood and the men's so-called uh, quote, bro quote. I'm sorry if that's
Go
proper
ahead.
language. Yeah. Yes, they support each other, and it's actually great. They support each other. They tend to organize well because of that, and that kind of support women can learn from. Because I see so many times Women get jealous against, against other women because she's younger, prettier, I don't know, more talented. And I say, what to be jealous about? Just try to, if you're jealous, that means you envy some qualities you would like to possess. Then make her your best friend. Learn from her. Uh, you know, try to be surround yourself with people like that. Make them like you, and make them to support you and your initiative. And this is the only way to go as a society, as a humans, as a yes, as a yeah people in professional field. We have to do that. Mhm.
I think this is general good advice for everybody. Don't be toxic, competitive in business and
Mhm.
private life. Collaborate more.
Mhm.
Be the good
Yes.
person and reach out to
Mhm.
other people.
Mhm. Yes, definitely. And be an example. Be the best version of yourself. Imagine if your children have to see you at work, would they like that kind of person? Always
Mm.
think about it. Beginner's mind. Who are you working for? You working for a family to support them, or for the patient, or for your parents to impress them, or for significant other? Think about it. If they see you at work, would they be proud? And that's the only question you need to ask yourself. And that's the only answer you need to answer at the end of the day. So
Yeah, that's perfect.
that's
That's
the wisdom.
perfect.
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
mentioned at the beginning of our conversation that your company is in vaccination and
Hmm.
develops vaccine. How do you see the challenges these days in
Hmm.
global adult vaccination topics after the
Hmm.
pandemic?
Hmm. Yes, definitely there are more challenges than solutions as for now. And it really it's I think it's more about lack of education, proper education, because most of the people believe that vaccines are only for younger children, and that once you get vaccinated that protect you for the rest of your life, which is not the truth. Yeah, virus, yeah, are very tricky. Viruses are very tricky, and they can attack you unexpectedly, and you have to have a vaccination through the life span, because once you enter another age, or your immune system being compromised due to serious chronic disease,
Mhm.
everything can become a game changer for you. And that continuous checkup and see what's available on the market, and definitely if your healthcare allow that to benefit from that, definitely coverage and support in vaccination, then learn about that. We have so many so many ways to find information these days. Our We never been more exposed in our human history to information than these days. Open Google. I don't know. Open any search engine. Ask ChatGPT, and information is all around there, but no one's asking. So no one's asking, and that's your health we are talking about. So always find out. For example, I'm 38-year-old, what kind of vaccine I can get as an adult, or what's in 40s, what kind of vaccination I need to prepare for in 50s, and so I think it's very important to just be aware about your and keep eye on your own health, because no one's going to do it for you. Yes, government try, they promote and they support you, but then again, you have to be also educating yourself, asking others, asking professionals. So this is very important. And yes, definitely the budget. Whether you have money, extra money to get vaccinated. When you think about it, think whether you have extra money to get hospitalized, or definitely the other scenarios, which is not as pleasant as you might think. Yeah. Yeah. So always think about that the preventive medicine can be much easier and faster way than the try to fight with the consequences of getting sick. And and after coronavirus, I think we saw a lot of examples how vaccine is important, and then we have to have we have to be conscious about it. Mhm.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Mhm.
Tatyana, I
Mhm.
see time flies
Mhm.
when you have fun. This is such a fantastic
Mhm.
conversation.
Mhm.
We are
Mhm.
already 1 hour in the conversation, and I know that
Yeah.
you that
Mhm.
your son would like to have some time
Thank
with his
you
mother.
so much. And I'm very sorry. Being a mom and being a woman in leadership, yes, that's the toll I have to pay. Yeah, yeah. But maybe we can have a final thoughts or the questions.
Yeah.
To
How much time do you have?
I think well, maybe 10 more minutes.
Okay,
If
10 more
that's
minutes. 10 more minutes is
mhm,
great. Then I ask a few questions
mhm,
at the end about the future and
mhm,
vaccination, and
mhm,
then we wrap it
mhm,
up in about 10
mhm,
minutes.
okay.
When I look at vaccination in Europe, the pandemic was really challenging for
Mhm,
people,
mhm,
and
mhm.
some lost faith in vaccines. What's your message as a vaccine developing company? How can we restore faith in vaccines, in people? Because I think it's important that people trust again. And but how can we do that? That people trust medicine and pharma again?
Yes, it is. Thank you for the question. It is, I agree absolutely. It is hard to believe in something you cannot see. For example, with cancer, if we get the cancer cure, right? You
Mm,
cured, you survived, hooray, it's working. But for the vaccine, okay, I'm a healthy human, adult, and then I got vaccinated and nothing happened. Okay, fine. I think this is our basic conscious.
mm,
And this is problem with the basic beliefs because we, as a human, we so get used to take our health for granted. As long as I'm healthy, everything's fine. I have 100 million problems. But once you get sick, there's only one problem with your health, right? And with the vaccination, it's even harder because you don't see the effect right away. So you can get sick in 10 years from now on or in 20 years on. But vaccine working really hard to protect your immune system, to protect you from virus and to combat the virus once your body is compromised. So I only believe in education, in further promotion or through the existed platform and through existed tools uh, about importance of preventive medicine. For example, GSK doing such a great job in that field. For example, they have a shingles awareness week they made a couple years ago. Now they link shingles and the dementia because due to neuropathy, which is developed during shingles, it actually can affect you in future, and you can get the dementia. Also, they had a very great connection between whoever got chickenpox as a child have a 70% of risk of development of shingles in once the immunity is compromised or once you get older. So we do same as GSK develop recombinant shingles vaccine, and we target all these fields. Yes, and definitely we trying to become a best in class or like as good as JSK, and they're doing great job. I hope our vaccine institute can do uh, something like that in future with us other vaccines. But JSK is showing us great example how to move forward, how to do it, how to educate people, and more. The more people aware about the disease and the consequences, the more they trust the vaccination, the more they tend to invest in their future health. It's like insurance. It's a car insurance. So my best example
yeah,
is get your car insurance,
yeah.
your vaccine insurance. Yes, whenever you have a crush, then you feel protected. You get protected.
Yeah, absolutely.
So make it simple to understand. Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
such a good
Mhm.
point that you brought up that with
Mhm.
therapies, you always have this healing moment. Somebody
Mhm.
got sick,
Mhm.
cancer, for example, as you mentioned,
Mhm.
and then they got this new therapeutic, and suddenly they are healed. And this is so good for marketing. But with vaccines, I know nobody who said, I got a vaccine and got healed. So they usually don't get sick, but they don't experience this moment of healing. And what does that mean for marketing? How can vaccine companies market their products better?
Yes, definitely. Traditional marketing will not help to promote the vaccine business. So we have to think bold. We have to think out of box. And actually, with new generation coming, and I think they're very smart. They're so much smarter these days. 20s, I'm sometimes impressed. They are so considerate about their health, and they learn a lot. So I think rather than try to re-educate the elder population, which is actually in need of such a vaccine, we have to try to educate our younger one. So that is not direct promotion as we get used to in 20th century in industrial society. I have to directly meet the client, get my product promoted to them, make them remember, make them understand, and make them purchase. So now we have to do a little detour as an industry itself. We have to educate our younger one so they can educate their parents. And these days, parents tend to listen to their children more than they listen from the TV or from the commercial. So this is very important. Once my son, 10 years from now on, he will come to me and say, Mom, I've heard about this vaccine and it's great. And you're not getting any younger. Please get that vaccine and get me, let's worry about you. Or like free me from a burden to pay your hospital bill. I will do it. I will go and I get myself vaccinated. So that's the key message here. No direct promotion or marketing will work in future, in my opinion. Of course, we're gonna keep it as a courtesy to traditions, traditional marketing policy. But then we have to become smarter and wiser, and actually we have to invest time in order to that to work. Because once I see my child, it's not going to happen right away. Or sometimes they do call, oh, please, get me. But then we have to have time, and then we have to plan our budget, our marketing budgets that way. That might not to work right away, but definitely in yeah in years future that we will have a first results.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Mhm, mhm.
When we look into the future, what big challenges do you see for vaccines these days? What are the big topics that we need to tackle?
Yes, the future, and that I think because there are so many technologies these days, not just in vaccine business, but in cancer treatment, in CNS, and all kind of diseases, and I think the field got too crowded at this point with too many early technologies, with too many concepts we cannot prove, with too many failed clinical trials. And I think it's important to go through the market correction. So once we get that cleared, all the noise would disappear from the market, and only strongest will survive at this point. And I think our investors doing quite a great job. They will not give any funds to the companies, yes, these days, who cannot prove themselves or that yeah stand out compared to others. And I think that's about the time, because this IPO bubble after coronavirus, definitely we all saw that it's not working anymore. And same in United States, same in Korea, and same in Europe. So market correction will take definitely will take place. And most of the company with weak technology and weak science and less will to move forward will not survive it. But the one who will survive will do so much better, with greater fun, with greater access to collaboration. And I think it's about time to integrate the market. That's why these days we are looking more, yeah, we're kind of distance ourselves from traditional license deal but with big pharma, but try to find a PR company who stays same stage of development with us in order to support each other in co-development. We can do something for them and they can do something for us, and then we can succeed together, be successful together. So win-win situation. And then we can later on license to big pharma or regional pharma or specialty pharmaceutical company. So that's a new approach we're trying to implement here in order to survive and support each other. Again, not compete directly, but more rather find a common ground and unite, basically unite within the industry and thrive. Mhm,
Absolutely. We need to work together globally to solve the problems together. Tatiana, it's
mhm,
such a
mhm,
great conversation. I really
mhm,
enjoyed. Uh,
mhm,
final question. Final question to you.
mhm.
What's the one thing you hope listeners remember from today's conversation?
Mhm, mhm. Yes, I've been thinking about that. In order to summarize my 1 hour interview, I would like to point out again and highlight that the integrity is important, the hard work is important, the collaboration is important, but most important is beginner's mind. Always remind yourself what for and who you would like to work for. And this is most important. And once you're able to answer uh, whether you do your job great, or maybe you need to again go back, to step back in order to move forward. And don't be afraid of that. Going back, it's still better than stay at the same place. You do not stagnate. You still can go back or go forward or go right or go left. If you want to, you can jump. It's up to your imagination. But then again, don't stay still and do not wait for perfect opportunity to come. There will be never perfect opportunity to come. You have to go and you have to knock that door. If they don't open the door, knock at the window. If they don't open the window, I don't know, reinforce with other peers and try to make a noise. Just make yourself visible. Do not stay quiet. Do not accept the situation as is. And as I said, time change, tradition change, the business practices change. Look at me. I'm a walk-in evidence that everything is possible as a female, as a foreigner living abroad, or as a mother who's still working and trying to make this place, this world, a better place. Thank you very much, Christian.
Tatyana, thank you very much for this
Mhm,
great message. I totally agree.
mhm,
Make some noise and keep moving forward. Stay
mhm,
positive.
mhm,
Tatyana, also thank you to
mhm,
your family for making time that we can
mhm,
have this conversation and being
mhm,
patient with me going
mhm,
longer than we agreed. I
mhm,
wish
mhm,
you and your family a very nice evening, and let's catch up
mhm.
soon.
Mhm. Thank you very much. And it was such a pleasure, such a deep conversation. And you're doing such a great job. Please never stop. And I will do as much as I can to support your program. Mhm.
Thank you very much, and I wish you a nice evening, and let's catch up soon. See you. Bye.